last part of Soul Sisters, and because today is the third Sunday of the month, is Ability and Disability series, and as always, we usually have someone come to share their stories. But in the studio, Ugosimba is still here. We have Soul Brother, Soul Lilenwa, Soul Amaka, Soul Uzo, Soul Oyi. Yeah, and in the studios this afternoon, we have Surveyor Kenneth Chukukadibia Nwafo. Good afternoon, sir. And welcome to Soul Sisters.
Good afternoon, Salid.
So, how you doing?
Thank God for everything.
Okay, so usually on this part of Soul Sisters, this is where we keep it real. We always keep it real, but this is where people share their stories with us as regards to um, whatever that has happened to them. Okay, because this program is ability and disability. So we'd love for you to share your story with us. You're visually impaired, right?
Yes,
Okay, so you can share we need you to share your story with us. Go ahead.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, listeners. Well, my story started when I was still a young boy. That was about before the Civil War. It was, I think, in primary three. Well, because of the war, now we had to, because my parents actually they settled that in Nsukka. My father worked in the railway service, Nigeria Railway. He retired there and then decided to settle down at Nsukka. That was where he now lived and some of us. And also, I, I am the 12th child of my mother. My mother gave birth to 12 children. But I met my siblings, I met 7, including myself, who were 8. So I was the smallest as at the time the war was about to break out. So when the war broke out, we took off from Nsukka to my hometown. Meanwhile, from Umumba, Njono, in Ezago, local government area of Enugu State. So when we took off from there, we went to Mbano, somewhere at Ikberejere, Etiti. That was where my family stayed. And I come to know that family that harbored us to be a man who was in the parliament then. I never knew anything about it then. So that place we continue going to school. But something happened one day. I was just a small boy. I was sleeping in that place. Where we were staying was just a 3-bedroom apartment rooms they gave us. We were staying. I slept. In the evening, I woke up from sleep, and as I was about to get down from the bed, going towards the leg axis of the bed, I never knew that a door was just slightly opened, and there was this stapler just pointing. As I was just getting up like this my left eye just hit that stapler. It was terrible. Everything was coming out. The thing pierced my left eye. Everything was just coming out from there. My mother screamed, my dad, every person was confused. But what can you do in a war situation? There was this hospital between Isinweke and Aminyi. That's at Uboma, Berejere. That was Bishop Shanahan's hospital. That was where I was taken to. But there was no drug. The soldiers, many of them wounded, were there. So in fact, I cannot even remember the type of treatment that was given to me that day. But all that I remembered, my eye was bandaged, and we came home, and those liquid and whatever that was coming out stopped the next day. So small drugs they gave me, I was taking it There's not much drugs, and the war situation was so terrible. So after that incident, I continued. After some time, the eye healed. I was seeing with it, but not very much. But that was not enough to make me to start wearing glasses. So immediately after the war, I wasn't feeling all that thing, but the sight was reduced. So what happened immediately after the war? I didn't even go for primary six. I had to start with class one. So that was what I was doing till I took my school certificate in 75. And after that 75, well, a lot of things happened. Um, I got um, a position that time. I studied. I had my secondary school education at Nsukka High School. So some of us who came out, I was so interested in academics. In fact, the school I went to immediately after the war, I think they didn't give me what I wanted because my father believed in education very well. And all my siblings, all were well read. But unfortunately, none of them, except one, is living now. All have died. So unfortunately, my brother, in fact, what happened, I had to get a job as a lab assistant at a pharmacy department, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. But then, pharmacy was a department with my school certificate anyway. Pharmacy was just a department, not just now that it is a faculty. So, as God will have it, immediately when I entered here, I had some good shivers because this station reminds me a lot of things. I pray that God will still keep the soul of the mother of this station, Professor the NAFDAC director, Dora Akunyili, because she was in my lab, senior pharmaceutical chemistry lab, where I served as a lab assistant. I remember her very, very well when she was in our lab, because we used to prepare reagents for them to do their chemistry practical, pharmaceutical chemistry practicals. And I was able to go around that pharmacy. It has about 5 units. You have pharmacognosy, you have pharmacy toxicology, you have farm technology, where they do this tableting of this. Then pharmaceutics. You also then have junior and senior pharmaceutical chemistry lab. So I was able to work with her. In fact, even as I am, I still remember how she used to wear her lab coat, and all of us used to wear lab coat. That's for the birthday one. So after that, the eyes did not worry me much, and I had a very good school certificate, and that time our young boys, not just what we have now, are very ambitious to read. Many are getting admissions. Well, I don't even know the meaning of IMT or HND or BSc. What was running for us then? Have you entered school? Have you gone to school? Have you done this? So, but unfortunately, we were to be the first set to take this jump, 8th of April 1978. But unfortunately, my father died. I think I was about 19 when my father died. So After 8 months, my father died, my mother died. So I was even staying with her in the hospital. So I could not go for that jump. So the thing got me scattered. But because that's one thing that happened, I developed love for calculation. I love mathematics so much. I love science subjects so much. I, I didn't want to stay. But one day, I just saw an advertorial in the Daily Times that time. There was no phone, there was nothing. I applied as an assistant technical officer in training for this Mauritania Mohammed Airport. Not been to Lagos before. I was invited. They wrote me back. Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. They wrote me back, invited me for the interview. We went there. We were given English and mathematics. I was among the people that passed at Federal Secretary Koi. I don't speak Yoruba. I don't know any person. So after the whole this thing, I was among the people who were asked to stay. After that, they said we should go for the interview. Then we went for the interview, presented our this, and then we were given appointment paper. So after that, I started work at Murtala Mohammed Airport. That was the time Julius Berger was about handing over the runway. So they said we are going to be in charge of the lightening of the new runway in the airport. So I started working there. But something happened. My uncle, whom my father trained, was an engineer. In fact, he's a technical man before he went for engineering. So one day I was reading the newspaper, I saw my name appearing at College of Education in Imo State. This is the present Federal Polytechnic, Nekede. So I saw my name, but the course they offered me was topographical sciences. I don't know what is topographical science. But because of some of my mates are already in school, I said I will go. Now my uncle said I shouldn't go. I should do this job because I know they used to send us on cable course. Those older people that were there before we came. So let us stay. Well, you finish this in training, they send you for this. So, but because of my desire to go to school, I disobeyed that my uncle. I said, I'm going to go to school. Whatever is that topographical science, I will read it. Since I like mathematics, maybe it will be there. So I had to go back to Owerri. So when we got to Owerri, they now changed it because some of us don't even know what it is topography. They now changed it to land surveying. So that was what I studied then. And it was we were the first set, the pioneers. We did a straight course. The IT was inbuilt in the 4 years. In fact, what it was then, not even the HND, it was NND. So these Nigerian students, mostly from Yaba, they protested and said it's Nigerian native doctor that they will not accept that acronym for that they want HND. So we read HND straight. So after the study, I entered 78 and then finished 82. And after the study, I was successful. And at that time, they used to give color papers in the school. You don't need to go to police station. There was not too long story about it. So, but I took a decision that wherever I was posted, and I will be going there. So I was posted to Ibadan. So, and the person who was the governor there was Bola Ike, who was the governor when I worked for youth service there. So, and they were pushing people to schools. I said, I don't want to go to school, to secondary school or primary school. I wanted something that will will build me up to open up my space. So what I now did, I had to struggle and got into the Polytechnic. So lucky enough, there is one of the satellite campuses at Shaki. Shaki is a border town with Nigeria somewhere. This place I'm mentioning now should be in Odo State. So when I got there, they received me so well. And I started off there. I was teaching surveying, land surveying for the School of Environmental Sciences. When I was doing all these things, I didn't wear sunshade. I didn't wear glasses, so the eye was not disturbing me. So after my youth service in 20, we were the 10th set, the 10th anniversary set. That was in 1983. So when I finished, I came out. 84, there was no job. 85, I had to go to this school board. They gave me an appointment for teaching. I had to go for teaching. And before the school, the subjects they marshaled out for me was physics, mathematics, and metro tech. That was how I started. And my first school of thought was Imezo Wage Secondary School. I was there. I taught this mathematics. In fact, when they say it's mathematics, I had to go down because I didn't fit into primary. I mean, my primary school was not all that smooth. I had to work hard. I started teaching that mathematics because already I have that instinct in me. I love mathematics, calculation. So I picked it up. In fact, I escalated them very well. I think some of those guys now should be big girls now. So I thank God. Once I was about finishing it, the next school I went to became was Maryland Boys. That's where I taught my last set before getting into the Enugu State University of Science and Technology. So in my HND then, I was offered the position of principal technologist. I only entered promotions there. So once I got there, I was very, in fact, I'm very workaholic, so to say. So I continued my lecturing just like I did at Ibadan Polytechnic. So in order to get myself improved, I entered for postgraduate studies. But behold, by 1996, something happened. What happened?
What happened?
The eye now came. I finished the first semester. I was about to do the second semester. I started noticing something in my eye. I'm now having phobia for light. In fact, in the night, if there is a bulb, I will be seeing something like rainbow around it. If there is no light and then this bush lantern is put, you will be seeing that rainbow. So even when I come in for exams in my postgraduate, the window blinds, anywhere light is coming in, I will not see the description of that rainbow. I had to complain to my supervisor. I told him that I don't know what is happening to me. I used to see this and the thing pains me. Not only this eye now, I was now having the feeling in the second eye. So that man is a retired professor now. So he reasoned this thing. Sometimes he'll call me to his office. So what is the problem? this thing doesn't agree, doesn't allow me to read in the night. I'm finding it difficult. And when I want to write in the day, this thing, the amount of light coming into my eyes is so much I cannot even know where to write my these things. So what I did was to go to first hospital. I went to Parkland Hospital. I complained after some medications and routine checks there. They now referred me to UNTH. That's the old UNTH.
Okay.
I clinic there. So for expert management. But behold, from my what I my in fact my experience put together, the doctors that time, I'm sorry to say this glaucoma is not well known then. It was not well known then. When we come in the eye clinic, they will ask us to drink this Ragolis water, 1.5 mils. You just take one to build pressure in your eye. They use this tonometer to drop in your eye to check for the eye pressure. So that was what we were doing. After some time, they will recommend glasses. I wore more than 50 pairs of glasses, different kind of photochromic, whatever you are, different tinted ones. So after going to that place, I was not showing any good response. Until, though I was going there, I was getting some drugs and eye drops and everything. Then one day something happened. I was in my house with my my last born. We were in the house. The eyes now started giving me problem. That was around 11 a.m. 11 a.m. in the daytime. I come out because I'm living on the second floor of where my rented apartment there. I came out. I looked downstairs. I couldn't see any cars there again. And as I was just trying to absorb that one, my vision started declining. And by that time, my heart was beating as fast as you can think of. My BP rose. So I called one of my friends. I said, look at what is happening to me. I'm no longer seeing. My vision was going. So that guy came. He's a chemist boy, but he's an unupgraded one. He took my BP. He said, no, this one passing. That was how I went to Eastern Nigerian Medical Center. Before I could get there, I wasn't seeing again. The nurse that we booked in for emergency, the nurse that took my BP, she couldn't say anything. She just led me into the doctor's room. That should be around 2 or 3. Led me to the doctor's consulting room.
Okay.
So that was how the whole thing, that one stopped before the major case came. The doctor gave me some drugs that made me to cool down.
Okay.
I slept in the hospital. I was admitted overnight. They said that I should continue stay. I said no. Let me go back to UNTH because they have been handling my case. I went to UNTH. I met the doctors. I believe they are medical students. From there, they now admitted me straight to admission, straight to the ward. Because after looking to their instruments, looking at my eyes, they said that my presentation is terrible. That's not what they could manage. So I just went to this, waiting for the consultant to come. Only for the consultant to come and ask me, Mr. Man, why are you here? I told him, I said, they are booking you for operation. Do you know why they are being operated? I said, no. I said, did they tell you the amount of money you are going to pay? I said, no. So I should go. Go and think about it and come back. Why I'm saying these things is that everything about this glaucoma, because before it came to a point, I lost this eye just about April last year. I lost my sight. I am somebody who uses the laptop. I use my phone is a very nice one, Android. I'm always online. So I I was in touch with the American Glaucoma Society. I subscribed to them. They were sending me journals, how to drive with, how to live with glaucoma, how to drive with glaucoma. In fact, their newsletters and everything was coming to me. Sometimes I even, some of my students, I thought at least they were sending me drugs from even from abroad, from Israel, from Turkey, but there was no avail. The only thing that I want to tell those people that are suffering from the eye is that they have to be very, very careful. And I'm using this opportunity because after that, my dropping from the postgraduate school, I waited for 2 years and relaunched myself back. The thing came back. I said, God, if this is what is going to be, let me just stay. And I was in charge of practicals. So any person that's read surveying in a suit should know Surveyor Casey Welfare between 1993 and 2023 should know me. And I even developed interest in photography before I even entered this suit. I'm a very good videographer. I have 2 video cameras. I covered a lot of weddings. I did this chicken business. I have turkey from eggs. I grew my turkey. Sorry, my dear. So the issue is that where my problem got worst is when I started going to all these hospitals in Enugu. I can name 11 hospitals, but I'm not going to call them.
Don't call them.
I'm not calling their names, but what I am saying, you see, like these policemen are good people, but we have bad eggs. But you see, our doctors, they have to help us. Police is life and property. I think that's what they protect. The doctors, what are they protecting? It's life and good health. That's what they are protecting. But I'm sorry, I had a very nasty experience. The first thing that where my problem started is this checking of high pressure. Because you see an optometrist, he'll tell you he's a doctor of the eye. You see an optician, say he's a doctor of the eye. But I thank God that with my Android phone, I was able to go to several sites, connecting many doctors. So even one of my students introduced me to a doctor from Turkey. We were talking. There are certain things I noticed. This instrument they used to check high pressure was not common then. I used to drive to Ituku to take my high pressure and come back. But later on, say somebody somewhere, in the town here had his own. But I didn't know that it was just something like a business. Because I still have vision remaining in my eye. That guy said I should go do lesser surgery. And for the benefit of those people listening to me now, don't go in for operation for glaucoma if you actually you're suffering from glaucoma. Because I'm a Christian, I believe in God. I don't call it my glaucoma or my this thing because it's a visitor to go. So what that man did to me, I will not forget, is to send me to go and do laser surgery. And I've read everything about laser surgery. I said, why am I going to say, go if I do it, that this eye will open up? Immediately, I just go there. They charge me very big money. But the other ones I don't want to talk about. So the issue I have is when I entered the theater, I started having issue with the nurse. Who was preparing my right eye. against the one that is well. I said, this is not the one that they want to do the laser surgery. He says this right eye. I say it's the left one. So we entered into agreement. Now she went and brought my folder. And I checked it. I said, okay, it's this one. No problem. That laser surgery was done. That was done in 2017. I'm just cutting this thing short. So that laser surgery.
Because we want to ask you place of family in all this. What's the place of your family? Yeah, are you married? How many children? And what's the situation of things?
Okay. As I told you, I am the last born. And as fate may have it, all those siblings I used to see in our family pictures, they all died. It remains only one. My elder sister is about 90. And myself, who is the last, the last of the origin. So I'm married with 3 children.
Okay.
My daughter and this my son and one other one. 2 girls and a boy. This my son is the one. So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, you did. So what's the place of family? How are they accepting the situation? Are they supportive? Because we've seen families that once is about the thing of once there's visual impairment, family tends to say, there's usually problems. So is the family accepting, coming to terms with the fact that see, their dad, their husband is visually impaired?
Thank you very much. I will tell you that in fact, I couldn't accept this condition. That is where I have to start. Because I was even quarreling ability in disability. I thought there's a missing link there. Not seeing the ability in disability. Because what is inside is my head. I did not offload it. That is my problem. Because what I had wanted to be doing after my retirement is to continue this lesson in mathematics and take somebody who read English, who will be coaching people in mathematics. Because I know people, young boys now, even those that finish from school, even that read mathematics, I don't think they can even sit down and do something. And I was inspired when I was at Owerri by one of my teachers then, one Professor Sondu. He used to take us in engineering mathematics. Honestly speaking, there was one day he was teaching a topic in the class. That was where I built my head accepted calculation. And when you say ability in their disability, I say a missing link is there. Because as I am now, I cannot teach physics. I cannot read physics. Except something that is already loaded in my head. I can't solve mathematics again. All my children, except today, my last baby, that was the one that has no inclination for mathematics. Once they enter class 1, we solve every problem till the end. So as per what you are saying, for me to accept this condition was very, very difficult for me. If not for some people and my old boys in high school that have continued. In fact, the thing became worse after that. When, what is that his name in the Bible? Blind Bartimaeus. I don't think he was crying for pain. The headache this thing was giving me was worse than anything I have ever suffered. The headache was much, the pain in the eye was much. I can't even sleep before it now came to this stage. So my problem, I couldn't accept this. Even it's just now that I accepted this condition. I said, okay, I can still go out. People can now still take me out. When this thing happened, I can still 1 week lying down in my bed. I will not even take my bed. If I will take my bed just once in a week, I was dying. I wasn't even using the small room because I don't take enough water. My legs started swelling, my body system was changing. it was only by the grace of God. Some people that I used to hear this, I like information. I use radio so much. But my problem became that I cannot call people. I listen to your program. In fact, all the sister stations around, I call them. But I listen to them, but there's no way I can call any person. So it was me that developed myself to accept this condition after listening to the word of God. Even you, pastor on radio, I got many inspirations that made me to comfort myself. And what did I do? Like now, I go to my house, I cannot just, even my compound, I cannot even walk around because everywhere is. I said, why, if this thing gave me a time, I would have known the position of places in my house. So that sometimes I'll be moving like this, I'll hit my head in the bedroom. Don't know that I've got into the wall or to the door.
Okay, okay, sir. I would love for Ugo Simba to, at least, because we have actually run out of time. Your story is a very unique one, and that's the essence of this program, for people to come and tell their stories. And we're here to also prefer coping mechanisms. You understand? Because it's one thing, like when we started this program, it was the stories of two people that prompted the beginning of this program. After they shared their story, my boss listened and thought it wise that, okay, in order to encourage people, why don't we create a program, ability, and we gave it a name, Ability in Disability, so that people would know. Is one thing, one of the lessons I've learned is 1 minute you are seeing, you are walking, the next minute something might happen. Most of the people that have shared their stories here, when you hear their stories of how they came to be the way they are, you will tend to wonder. 1 minute I was walking, I had no scratch, no bruise, nothing on my leg. The next minute there was an accident and I have to go in for operation. At least anytime I wake up, I see the sky, I know that, see, my leg is not normal again. It happens. You understand? So it's just a way for you to accept. You just need to accept. You just need to accept. It don't be say it don't be. And everything is by the grace and mercies of God. But before even that you are alive is the mercies of God. And God cannot give you a situation that you cannot handle. He gives you a situation because probably he knows you are strong. That's the way I look at myself. Whatever I'm going through, I know that God gave, like if there was a day I was sleeping and the message just came and like, who do you want me to give this problem to? That was just the message. Who do you want me to give it to? You can manage it. So that is why you are with it. If I give it to the other person, the person might not live to see the next day. That's the way I see situation of things. Though as humans, you go back, I said it this morning, we go to our room, we cry, wet our bed, roll on the floor, we brace up, we wear our clothes, we come to work, and we're talking on radio. Nobody knows that I've cried. Nobody knows that maybe probably I've not eaten since morning. Nobody knows. But you have to keep fighting. And that's why this program is there, to encourage everybody. And I like the fact that you said you usually listen. At least you listened and you decided, okay, it's time for me to now share my story. And your story is encouraging someone today because you have something. You can still teach. You can still teach. I know people who are visually impaired who are teaching. My teacher back then in Lagos, an English teacher, she's blind, visually impaired. My friend, God bless his soul, he won back-to-back presenter of the year in Voice of Nigeria. And he came to my office that one time and he said, oh, he called the name of our console, everything. And I was looking, like even me that can see, I don't even know the name. I had to start looking for where they wrote the name. And exactly what he said was what it is after touching it. But me that has been with this thing for a very long time does not even know where the name is written. So that is how it is. You just have to. It's difficult, but you have to. Especially for your children. Thank God it was your son that brought you here. There are some, they will abandon them. Go Simba, over to you.
For my brother, it has happened. It has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot change it. And whatever we cannot change, the best available option is to accept it and try to learn how to cope with it. Just as I used to say, in any forum I find myself, self-pity is the number one killer of any person living with disability. Telling yourself, oh, why me? Why not later? Or why now? All those questions are not necessary. Thank God you said, after listening to some motivational talks and preachings and word of God, that you now told yourself that you have to accept it. On the 5th of December, there was Enugu State Disability Day, and you see people living with different kinds of disability, happy. In fact, the MC of the occasion, it's a blind man. And if you see him anchor that program, you will never know that this person is a blind man. I know that if you are not born blind, it is usually difficult to cope with it, unlike someone who was born blind, because from the day that person was born, he has learned how to cope with the problem. So one of the things I believe anybody living with disability of this kind will do is to a kind of link with your community. It helps a lot. The community of people living with blindness. At least you know, I have this problem, you have this problem. There you will learn how others are coping. Like the day they did the disability day, I told you earlier that my foundation shared rights. Okay, yes. I informed the chairman of Enugu State, that's Onyebu Chimba, the chairman of people living with disability. I informed him on time to list out the names of people that will give the rights, because it can't go round. So they know people that needed it most. So when we were presenting that rights, I was watching him. You know that they said the blind hears with their ear. Yes. I was watching him with his phone. He will touch the name of the person that I want to call. The sound will make in the phone. I was just curious watching him, and he will announce it. He will touch again. In fact, I said that I will even have to contact him so that I will know which app is helping him to do that, because it will help a lot of other visually impaired persons. Yeah. So if you are part of their community, they will have their days of meeting. You will communicate with them. You will know how they are also jumping their barriers. So that is another major coping mechanism, so that you will know that you are not alone in this. Once you know that you are not alone, people have been there before you. People will still be there even after you. This is life. This is just life for you. So say we as we say in our local plans, that so when you communicate with those people that have been in that situation, I believe that it will help you to know how they are able to maneuver so many challenges, and you will now apply it. I believe it will help you. Just as I said earlier, self-pity is the number one thing you have to destroy. Just always look for those things that will make you happy. In this situation, you cannot press your phone as you used to. Your radio is your companion. My radio, I don't have neighbors, so where I live alone in the compound. But that my radio, I can stick to it from morning till night, and I won't feel bored. All the radio stations in Enugu here, I know them. I know which program I will tune at any given point in time, and I will be as happy as any other person without knowing that internet is even existing. You understand? So my brother, it has happened, as I said earlier. It has happened, but just be thankful and grateful to God for life. At least you were even fortunate that you've done something, you've achieved something in your life before it came. You have lovely family, you have good children. So with God and with yourself accepting what you found yourself in, I believe you will continue to soar higher. That's all I have for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ugo Simba. And I would have taken one or two calls, but due to want of time, If you would love to share your story, just like our daddy here has shared his story, what you just need to do is to give us a call, reach out to us. Okay, let's take this call. This person has been calling. Hello? Yes, good afternoon. Welcome.
It's Chidera.
Okay.
Yes, I listened to you guys and I want to thank you for the advice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, Chidera, thank you. Now I remember. All right, darling. Thank you. All right. Yeah, Chidera was the one that
The
called
dating.
about dating.
Please, I want to, if
Okay.
you can help me. Ms. Ugo Simba, I know I've listened to your own story before. I would like you to, as I told you when I came into the studio, I want links so I can get through to some of these bodies.
People. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because this is it Canwood or what? It's something that I will need.
Okay,
that white
Even
cane.
the palliative, I hope you kept my own. Then if there is any other way somebody can render assistance to me, I would like it. For example, there is this guy that calls from Abakaliki, Simon Okolo.
Okolo, yes.
If you would allow me, I can send my number. I want to keep in touch with him to see how he's coping with his
Simon,
own.
I have his number.
Okay.
Well, at the end of the program, I will get his number. Your
And
son
this
will help
our
us get
daddy
the
that
number.
called Okechukwu from Agbani Road.
Okay, I don't have his number.
I'll call, if you permit me, I'll call my number. I would like people to contact me because if I'm not contacted or keep in communication, it seems I'm being, the whole world is shutting down behind me. So that is the thing. If you can allow me, I say my number. Any person,
Okay, you can call out your number.
okay. My number is 070 34 88 1940. I repeat, 070 34 88 1940. So KC Nwafo.
Okay.
So anyone who reaches me, more especially people that are suffering this glaucoma, because I can give them tips. And some of the fruits they can be taken at least to delay the final shutting of the eye. I know that it will happen, but I never knew my own would be the case, you know. So there are certain things they don't
All right.
tell us.
No problem, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And to every other person that has called us so far, thank you. Thank you so much to Go Simba for joining us today. Those who watched us live on Facebook, thank you so much. This is where we take real life stories. So I was trying to give out a number that you can call if you would love to share your own story. Just call 0916 523 3944. 0916 523 3944. So if you'd love to share your story, you can share your story by calling out that number. We're here to take your calls and attend to you. Preferably send a message so that at least you tell us who you are, then we can get across to you. Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody. God bless you. We'll do this again next week. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You're tuned into Solid 100.9 FM. We don't have the tower, but we have the power.